There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Basili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit,
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Everyone, to The Psychic and the Doc here on the Transformation Network. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer. I'm also known as the Psychic Lawyer, and I'm here with Dr. Pat Basili, my esteemed co-host, who's a world-renowned behavioral psychologist. Her website is unstuckable.com, and she will teach you how to get unstuck from the dilemmas of life. And we have a really fascinating topic. Martin Luther King Day was Monday, and his birthday is this week, and his inspirational, most amazing, perhaps one of the greatest speeches in American history, I Have a Dream. And that's why the theme of tonight's show is, do you have a dream? We all have dreams. We all have aspirations. And so this is a call-in show, 1-800-930-2819. So we want people to call in, tell us what your dream is. So Dr. Pat, I know one of your dreams was formation of the Transformation Network. And that dream came along quite the rocky road to get here, didn't it?
I think it did. But, you know, it's interesting because I was doing a show earlier today and I was really struck by the energy shift. And I think this is a powerful, powerful topic and something to talk about. And the reason I love this topic and I love the idea, do you have a dream? I want to put the exclamation point on the end of that. Dream big and dream boldly. And this is the time to do it. There's so much being said about shifting energy, but let's break it down to practical terms. You know, what is it about us, Mark? Us meaning humanity. What is it about some folks in the mix of things who absolutely have dreams, but they shoot for the lowest denominator? They shoot for the lowest possible ask. And I remember listening to Esther and Jerry Hicks once. Yeah. And I actually came across a CD of an interview I did with them that they canceled from everywhere, but I actually had it on Remember CDs, everybody. And I was struck by the theme that I'm hearing all week long. Whether, it doesn't matter what metaphysical person I listen to or turn on, there's this theme about dreaming, but it has a different punctuation on it. So I wanted to ask you, Mark, you also had big dreams. You know, you and I carved a pathway out that we thought would be our thing, right?
Right.
We've talked about it before. And yet the universe, God, spirit had a bigger plan. So tonight too, we want to help people. In the last couple weeks we have of the energy of the wood snake, we want to help folks let go of the smallness. Today, I had a list of about 20 really important things to do on the internet today. And my ongoing saga with looking at what you have and really appreciating it, and it goes on. But today, finally, it seems like we're going to have the proper internet set up. And you kind of get spoiled. It's not like you're going to call Jessica and say, come on down the hall, Jessica. Jessica, get over here, help us. And, Jessica's probably saying, oh my God, thank goodness for that. But here we are. Today, we have to encourage people to dream bigger than they've ever done, because we're entering the energy of the fire horse. And that is about momentum.
For our listeners, what is, Dr. Pat, what is the energy of the fire horse?
I have to tell you, I love thinking about this. So let me give you a short version. We're coming out of the year of the snake, which is 2025. For those of you, we're talking about the Chinese New Year, et cetera, certain things. But this is also a 1 year in numerology. And the snake taught me and most of us how to shed. And I have shed. That's not a cuss word. I may be mispronouncing it because I'm in between New Jersey and West Coast dialogue. So give me a little mercy here. But we're in between. So it was the year of quiet recalculation, not loud endings, but precise ones. The snake did not rush us forward. It slowed us down. It made us pause. And it made us listen to discomforting things. So people that were in the energy of dream big, go bigger, man, that wasn't going to happen until they cleaned up their side of the street. And so here we are today. It showed us that we're living out of habit instead of truth. And, we're staying small. That's what the snake taught us, because it's safer, Mark. So this is what we have to shed now. The growth that happened in 2025, and you hear people in agony talk about it. We don't say, oh my God, growing it. No, we had so many different challenges that we overcame. But the snake didn't come through force. It came through awareness. And Mark, the key to any big dream, Martin Luther King, I don't care who it is the first step is awareness. You must look at where you are, and you have to do it with honesty. And so that's the year of the snake. Now, clarity precedes change. It is impossible to really get chaos and confusion. We had to look at what's misaligned. That snake slowed time. The horse returns us to a full momentum. It is a year of courage, motion, trust in your own legs beneath you. That's the energy we're talking about. And we'll spend a lot more time on that as we go.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds great. You said something about, why do so many people, they may have dreams, but they accept the lowest common denominator. And I think that's because a lot of people, life is like a river, and you have to flow with it instead of against it. And sometimes when we flow against it, we feel what we perceive to be doors slamming in our face. And sometimes that river develops rapids, and there are waterfalls that you can go over, and that will be the death of a loved one or a broken heart or some other, tragedy in your life. And many people start to give up on their dreams. And I think when those things happen, examine why things didn't work out. Don't repeat the same behaviors. Modify your behavior. Don't accept lowest common denominator when it comes to your dreams, because if life were easy, nothing worth it is easy. Very few people have everything handed to them, and the ones that do never seem to appreciate it. So anyway, that's my take on that.
Yeah.
Dr. Pat, what do you say we go to a quick break, and then
Sure.
do you want to go to the phones when we get back?
Sounds like a game plan to me.
All
Get
right.
the dreamers on here.
We will. Everyone, this is, I'm Mark Anthony. I'm here with Dr. Pat Basili. This is the Psychic and the Doc call-in show, 1-800-930-2819, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Best Holistic Life magazine, where we believe in a holistic approach to living your best life. Today we are talking about the power of mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality, and a positive mindset can make all the difference in achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. Our expert contributors are here to guide you with practical tips and techniques, from meditation and visualization to affirmations and gratitude practices. Transform your mindset and create a life of abundance with Best Holistic Life magazine. Subscribe to our app and follow us on social media for daily inspiration and guidance. Let's elevate our minds and lives together.
Tired of feeling exhausted as a parent? I would love to help you with a new vision for yourself that is focused on intentional wellness parenting. My name is Aurelie Cormier, and I have over 40 years experience with complex cancer patients. I offer consultations, coaching, and educational programs for parents who want to boost their health and reduce risk of disease, especially cancer. For more information, go to aureliecormier.com.
Luvology is where your body remembers what your soul never forgot. I work with men and women who are often at the edge of midlife, who are done with surface level living. People who've built the life but still feel numb, who ache for something deeper, more presence, more truth, more touch. We work with what's been silenced: desire, shame, grief, raw pleasure, and the truths your body has been whispering for years. Using ancient practices, modern science, and yummy, delicious sex tools that awaken rather than perform, we reclaim what it means to feel deeply and live turned on from the inside out. This isn't about fixing. This is about remembering. This is conscious hedonism, rooted, real, and alive. If your body's been asking for more, you are in the right place. This is Luvology. Want to go there? Book a compatibility call at gwenhamcarsley.com. Let's begin.
Oh, we got a good one for all of you tonight. I'm Dr. Pat. Welcome to The Psychic and the Doc. We're going to go to the phones, and I want to set the stage for a little bit of what we ended up with. And Mark and I are going to talk more about the energy of 2026 in future shows. Here's the thing to remember. We are not starting from scratch in 2026 in the year of the horse. No, the year of the horse, you're starting from wisdom. Today's show is to help everyone with that. Mark, should we go to the phones?
Absolutely.
Jessica?
All right. Yeah, here we go. Let's start with Malika calling from Singapore. Malika, welcome to the show.
Hi, Malika.
Well, it's a long way to Singapore. Malika, hello, welcome.
We have to squeeze all that in the cable, in the Ethernet. Yes, Jessica?
Well, all right. Well, we'll try to get her back in. We'll go to the next caller. Yeah, no problem. Let's go to Jamie. Jamie from Utah. So let's see.
That's great.
Hi, Jamie from Utah. You are live with the Psychic in the Doc. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
What can we do for you? Hi.
I'm just calling in. I had a friend tell me to call in, so.
Okay. Do you know? Let me give. Just don't you love your friends? Okay, just saying. Let me tell you a little bit about how this works, Jamie. What's going to happen is Mark will connect with a loved one, and so someone that has passed on, and so the messages that Mark will give you when he does that, right? He may ask you a couple questions. But the hardest thing to do is just to kind of sit quiet, wait until he asks you a question, because remember, he is connecting with people that have passed over, okay? And then he'll kick you back to me.
Okay.
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 Mark, Jamie from Utah.
Jamie, I'm getting a younger male coming through. Now, this could be somebody that you knew when you were closer to being, when you were a child, or this could be somebody that you know who was a child who passed. Because when I say that they're on the level below you, that means generationally, like child, niece, nephew. And I'm trying to get a fix on his age. He wasn't very old. I'm getting, he could have been about 11 or 12 years old. And I'm getting with him this massive impact sensation. Now, Jamie, when I talk about a massive impact sensation, that could be a traumatic death, but that could also be an abrupt, unexpected passing, because that sensation can be either trauma, like some type of accident, and or unexpected or abrupt. The interesting thing about this child is he keeps projecting to me, and I'm not being funny here, images of clowns, of a circus, of balloons. So there may be something about clowns or circuses that makes sense to you. When a spirit transmits information to me, sometimes it's about the spirit and other times it's not. So let me start first. Is there someone connected to you, a younger male, who has passed, it seems like very unexpectedly?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
My husband passed away a couple years ago.
Jessica, can you turn Jamie down a bit? The gain is way too loud for me.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Jessica's awesome. I mean, she's our producer. She's, and I mean this as a total compliment. She's our girl Friday, our person Friday. She's like an octopus. Okay, she's got like 8 things going on at once, and she's handling it. Okay, question, Jamie. You said that your husband passed. And I'm not,
Yes.
once again, clowns. If I say clowns or circus, don't worry about if it doesn't make sense with him. What do clowns or a circus mean to you? No matter how weird it is, go for it. Don't think, feel.
Crazy, fun.
Yeah, crazy. He keeps showing me clowns, circus. Would you say there's some element of your life right now that feels completely out of control?
Yes.
That may be why he's given us clowns and circuses, that type of thing. And with this gentleman's passing, I feel like I want to clench my teeth. So this indicates to me that he was in a fair amount of physical pain prior to passing. I'm also getting a draining sensation through my body. And a draining sensation, Jamie, indicates to me that his passing was not a quick event. I feel like I've got the worst headache ever. So there was pressure build up in his head. Could have been something going on inside of his head, inside of his brain, his temples. But there was something going on which was really affecting his head, and he still seemed like he was rational and able to, he was lucid and able to understand everything that was going on with him prior to passing. Does any of this make sense to you?
Yes.
In what way? I'll let you explain.
He had a long-term
I'm sorry, I
illness
can't understand you with the dogs barking in the background.
Sorry.
And for other callers, please don't have animals, because what happens is dogs in particular sense the presence of spirits and they start getting agitated. And as much as I love dogs, I can't do a reading with in the background. Yeah. Okay.
Not a problem. Yeah. So he had a terminal illness, so I took care of him for like 17 years. Wow. And it was painful.
My goodness. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Now he's coming back to the clown. He said, it's time to put on a happy face. Time to put on a happy face. That's a funny thing for him to say. I mean, clowns are funny. And he also said that, okay, I got to be careful with this one. He said, he's talking to you. He said, you're ticklish in a very strange way. And you don't necessarily have to explain that. And he thinks that's funny, and he's waving around a feather, okay? And he's saying you're ticklish in a very funny way. Interesting. Now, let's see where else he's going with this. Yeah, stop second guessing yourself. He said, get all of that out of the way. He said, the one thing about you is when you set your mind to something and you set your focus on something, you see very clearly. But when you let the distractions, the clowns, the chaos get in the way, that's when you feel you've lost your way. So The clowns mean two things. It's the chaos that is clouding your judgment. He says, don't buy into the distractions, stay focused, and you will regain the control over your life. That's the message. Dr. Pat, that is one that's got to be loaded for you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
got a lot of really
yeah.
interesting things.
Jamie, so sorry about your loss. And,
Yeah.
My best friend and I, we were talking about this today of what the hero's journey is. And one of the things that we don't talk about so much about the hero's journey are the caretakers, the people that have done what you've done. But you called in for a reason today. There's something you're looking for. Can you share that with us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my kids and I are trying to buy a house, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's what I needed to get at. Because we started out the show talking about dreaming big, and this is the time to really do that. And can I ask you, what's scary about buying a house? You and the kiddies. What's scary about that? What's scary?
Because I've never bought a house before. I
Excellent.
always thought I would buy it with my spouse.
Buy it with what?
With her spouse,
my
with her
spouse?
husband.
Yeah. So it's not just scary. It's a new door opening. It's something that you thought you would do with another person. And now here you are, powerful, powerful woman, person that is given the opportunity to do this. So you're not really afraid, are you, of the actual physical buying the house, are you? In your heart, you know that's what you want to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the doing alone part, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing I want to say
I've
to
been
you.
alone for so long, but he's been alive.
No, believe me, I know that journey. Mark talks about this all the time. I've done an entire series for an entire year on what it means to take care of someone for that period of time. But this is your time now, Jamie. See, we're going to talk more about the year of the horse, but this is the year of momentum. This is the year. Unless there's some other reason, now it's time to treat yourself and to treat your children to the life and the future that you are able to do. And having a home, take it from somebody that's been homeless. Having a home, man, that form of stability, that rocks, okay?
Can I jump in real quick? I'm jumping in as Mark the lawyer, not the psychic. Jamie, people buy houses every day, okay? And wherever you live, you're going to be paying somebody something. You may as well be paying it to yourself, which is what happens when you buy a house. Make sure if you have a financial advisor or an accountant you can talk to, find out what you can afford in the way of payments. Make sure that you don't get something like a balloon mortgage. Oh, yeah, we'll get you in. You'll only be paying 3.5% in 5 years. All of a sudden, that means your interest payments balloon and your payments. No, you want to get with a consistent, as low a interest rate as possible. Don't worry if it's a 30-year mortgage, okay, because you get to deduct from your taxes the interest on your house payments. So there's a lot of financial benefit. Also, having a home, just like Dr. Pat said, this is your place. Okay, what's that old expression? Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Okay, so you're making of your dwelling an investment that will pay it. So it's like you're investing in yourself, and it's a savings fund. Instead of giving your money to some apartment rent or some other rental, you're paying it to something that's building you equity. Anyway, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, Jamie, you got a lot of insight here. Okay. Remember, you're going through a portal where you're changing from something extremely emotional And now what Mark said to you earlier, and also the message that you got, this is your time. This is your time to shine and your time to smile. And sometimes that does take bold moves. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Jessica.
Okay, we will go to Karen from Virginia. Karen, welcome to The Psychic in the Doc.
Hi, Karen. How are you? How can we help you tonight?
Hello, I'm great. I have a crazy question, and I hope I get some help. I dated a man a couple times, and I'm a senior, and so this was when I was 17. He went away to college, and I didn't see him anymore, and we only dated a couple times. I did have a crush on him, but I didn't see him again until 1991 across a restaurant. That was it. And in November, I went online. I wondered where he was, and I found out he had died March 28th, and it absolutely blew me away. I was in a terrible state, and it's still upsetting. And he is here now talking to me about this book I'm writing on reincarnation, and he's saying he's here to help me. He's told me so much about his life, and I'm not crazy. I meditate. And so
I'm not crazy. I meditate. That'd be a great bumper sticker.
That's totally good. That's perfect.
I'm sorry, Jamie. Keep going. This is really good.
I just hope he's there to talk to you, because I'm a senior. I live in a senior complex, and I don't talk about this stuff to anybody. Well,
is there a Ken or a Keith or a Kenneth, Jamie? Is there a Ken, a Keith, or a Kenneth, a name like that connected to you, either in spirit or on planet Earth?
I'm Karen.
Well, I know that, but I'm getting a male name, a Keith, a Kenneth.
I don't know anybody with that name.
Interesting, because I keep getting that name. And that just keeps coming through. Interesting. This book that you're writing on reincarnation, the reason I'm asking you this is because I'm getting a male spirit, and I'm not saying that it's your friend. It's somebody else, and I keep getting Kenneth or Keith. It's a name like that. It's a male name coming through. And he said that you're writing a lot of it as if you are recalling your previous lives. Now, if you're not doing that, that may mean you need to take that perspective. Does any of that make sense to you in any way?
Yes, I've seen 7 lives, past lives, and one with the man that I told you about. So, yes, that's what my book is going to be about.
Okay. That's all he's given me. He said, don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
He said, add a little levity to the writing.
Let me jump in. I got a question. What's your question?
Well, he's talking to me about his life and how he was not allowed to contact me in this life, and he had a secret crush on me his whole life that messed him up, and because of it, even the woman he finally married at 49, he dated her, or she was in his life 7-8 years. He just kept looking for me all the time, trying to find me, and he said, I was kept from you. I was not allowed to be in your life.
So what's your question?
Well, he's telling me things about his life, and he said, I hope I can be, he said, I'm here to help you with this book. I'm here now. And I'm hoping that that our life together in the 1300s, he was an earl in England. And he said, I'm hoping will be in your book. Well, it will.
So what's your question?
Jane, what
what's
is your question?
Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell about what happened in this life. I saw him, he says, one time on my 30th birthday.
Okay, wait. Let me try to get you some help. You're answering it. And Mark will tell you this, but we're learning about this. We're learning about this collectively. Just because the spirit visits you, and Mark may disagree with me, but I'll tell you my experience. Just because the spirit visits you, or there's an interpretation of that spirit and what that spirit wants, I'm not getting a sense of any of that being about you writing a book that you want to write. Does that make it? Did you get that message I just gave you? This is a book you want to write. He doesn't have to be invited.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to be invited. Alanis Morissette, uninvited. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get to you because I can hear your confliction. You know what I'm saying? I hear you trying to honor this, and he's telling you he saw you, and write your own book.
I couldn't agree more. Hold on, Karen. I do a lot of work with reincarnation. I've written about it. I give presentations on it. The thing is, if you're going to write about a prior life, you need to have some verifiable data. I mean, I've met so many women that tell me they used to be Mary Magdalene or Cleopatra. If I had $1 for every Cleopatra and Mary Magdalene I've met, I'd be buying a beach house front in Maui. Okay.
That wasn't me. I was Ares, the god of war.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're the only one of those I met. But the thing is, if you say, okay, we lived in the 1300s, and you very well may have, but you've got to get something verifiable. For example, Dr. Pat and I had Captain Robert Snow on the Psychic in the Dock, and he's a Indianapolis homicide police captain. Okay, and you know of him. Well, he was able to verify his last incarnation, which is from the 1890s through the early 20th century, and was able to find facts and data that matched up with what he received. And those are the credible stories on reincarnation. Just writing a story, unless you're writing it in the form of a novel about a woman who goes through a series of incarnations, then you'll have the literary license to do what you want, and you can have this gentleman's spirit being maybe he pops in various incarnations throughout your lifetimes. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to write.
Well, I'm going to tell her. Let me tell her.
Okay, go ahead, Dr.
Let me
Pat.
tell her, because I don't even want her to think about that, Mark. And here's why. You got to write the book you want to write. And what happens okay, so what happens sometimes is I could feel like if you're writing this book, you're so confused right now. You're confused, and my heart goes out to you because it's hard enough to bring your dream forward.
About his life, what he tells me, and where my life was in those instances, and I'm thinking, why were we not allowed? That's sad.
Okay, now we're getting to the question. Boom.
Okay, so now that's the only thing I'm really questioning.
That's your question. So let me give you that answer. Yeah, let me give you that answer. And Mark, let me give you that answer, and Mark will give it to you. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why.
I know.
See, why is a tricky question? Why is the thing?
Well, I want to put it in the book,
now we're getting to it. It's taken a while. Look, you got to follow what Mark said too.
I I found those lives the 7, every single one of them has affected this life.
Excellent.
And
see,
so
you just,
that is
I know
what
we got to
feel
go to
very
another caller, so I want you to
Yeah.
listen to us
Oh,
very
sorry.
carefully. What you did is you worked through this and just answered your own question, and we were a little bit hard on you, especially me. And the reason I did that is I want you to get to own yourself. Do you see? You don't need Mark or you don't need I to tell you. You just nailed it. You're like, I
wanted
to.
him to come on there,
What?
but he didn't do it.
You wanted him to
So
do what?
I'm thinking that answers my question, actually.
It does. I love this.
It does.
I know. Isn't that? This is
totally
like, I wish
answers.
we had an applause thing that we could do as an effect.
Yeah, here we go. Yay!
Before you can
Thank
do
you,
what Mark
thank you,
said,
thank you.
before
I
you
wanna
can
tell
do
you
what Mark
one
said,
thing
and
real quick.
Karen, hold on 1 minute. Let me
Yeah,
just
Karen,
finish.
you need to listen.
You need to listen to this because we got to
Okay.
run. Mark gave you $1 million coaching in 3 minutes right here, and you need to go back and listen to the show. I interrupted
I will.
because we weren't getting at the real issue. The real issue is you want something in the book. Mark just gave you the nugget that said, great, if you're going to write a book like this, it's got to be verifiable. Now, you finally made the decision about what you want. That was your hung up. You were stuck. Great job.
I was.
Awesome job.
And Mark, I want to tell you something. I called in about this book on December 9th. It's on YouTube December 10th, but 2021, because I had miracles telling me to come to Virginia because the book I'm supposed to write, I was here in the 1700s. And so I did that. I called in and got help. And my brother came through and said, you have to, this is a very important book. You have to move to Virginia. So
Okay, and now you got additional help.
Thank you.
Now you got additional help. And the message for you is you got to be you. Once you get to figure out you for this book, do not take what Mark said lightly.
I'm going to listen again.
Good job.
And again and
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Who we got next, Jessica?
Okay, we can go to Gretchen from Washington. Gretchen, welcome to the show.
Hi, Gretchen. Is that
Hi.
Washington, D.C. or Washington State?
Seattle.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. How are you tonight? How can we help you?
I'm great. I met Mark Anthony 10 years ago in Melbourne, Florida, and I have been wanting to talk about dreams coming true. I wanted to let or express my gratitude for the hour of channeling because it is the gift that keeps on giving. I know that time is a construct, but many of the things that were channeled during in July of 2016 with Mark, when I was paying him to have come true in the future. So there were several times when he said, don't try to make it fit. And I was able to transcribe the whole thing. And it ended up being my brother who died in 2022 talking about his death in 2016 to me, through you, to me.
Wow.
And multiple things. In the first 30 seconds, you described a pinky ring with a green stone that I found in 2022 after he died that I forgot was his pinky ring. I mean, down to the details of how he died. Then my aunt died a year later in 2017. You were speaking of St. Anthony's. That's the hospital she died in. She was a ballerina. You talked about a lady who, I fast forward. We took her ashes to Italy. You were talking, and I can't even express how amazing it was to visit with you and hear what you said, and some of it fit at the moment, and then some of it fit later, and it still keeps going. It's like the gift of a lifetime, and it's like fast forward to, you mentioned somebody named Kerwin or Irvin, which sounds like a blend of the name Kevin. This year, I found out my brother had 12 kids from a sperm donation. One of them is named Kevin. He lives 2 blocks from my house. He's the mayor of my town. He's a twin sister. All of a sudden, I'm getting to know my brother who's died 12 kids, and they're
Wow.
surrounding me with love. It's like this amazing gift. And you even mentioned a person named Lori or Laura, and I didn't know anybody at the moment in 2016, but that was my brother's girlfriend when he died. Her name was Laura. Like, all this stuff. So I just want to say thank you. And I know that when we channel or there's mediumship, it is a two-way street. Like, I'm receiving when you're also receiving. Like, we're like, I was open to it.
Yeah, I call what I do interdimensional communication. I don't refer to what I do as channeling. There's 3 different types of mediums. Yeah, no. I'm not, and I'm just clarifying. I'm a mental medium, and that means spirits communicate information to me, and then I tell you. People that are channelers are, in Britain, we call them trance mediums. It's like Edgar Cayce. And they'll go into a trance-like state, and a spirit will speak through them. And then there's people that claim to be physical mediums. That's a whole other topic. I've yet to see one that I felt was authentic. And supposedly they're able to manifest an image of the spirit that's communicating. But all the so-called physical mediums I've seen lacked what I consider to be verifiable credibility. So what you have experienced is the timelessness of time. And in my book, The Afterlife Frequency, I explain how spirits are pure electromagnetic energy. And electromagnetic energy is on the quantum level. What a quantum is, it's a wave particle. It's got both properties of a particle and a wave. Everything in our material universe at the most fundamental subatomic level is electromagnetic energy. I refer to our soul because our brain has an electromagnetic field, or rather it hosts an electromagnetic field, which remains coherent after physical death. Now, why am I telling you all this? It's because Einstein's theory of relativity proposes that on the quantum level, time is not moving in a linear fashion, but is moving in all directions, which is why spirits that I refer to as the electromagnetic soul are capable of perceiving past, present, and future events. So during your session, when your brother's spirit was communicating with me, he was bringing up things that haven't happened yet, because as a spirit, he's capable of seeing them. And, and during the reading, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. I don't see this until it happens. So what you described is such a perfect example of how spirits are capable of seeing future events. And I really cannot thank you enough for calling in for that validation. That's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Gretchen.
It is,
thank you.
I read it over and over again. There's always something new that appears. It's amazing. So I'm just fascinated and honored, and I might come back and see you again.
Well, you can always call into the Psychic in the Dock. We're open every Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Gretchen, I want to say one thing. Thank you for giving us a master class on awareness and openness, because that's what you just did. And, Mark, I can only imagine how you feel when you hear you're working with someone like Gretchen. And there's this level of openness that's almost like on an accelerated continuum, where one idea builds on top of another. And that's part of our theme tonight about dreaming, because I think, Gretchen, for you, the dreaming is about gathering information for your future next move. And what I mean by that is not just a next move to another state, but I mean a life event, a life thing, a verification, a validation. And so what I loved about what you did is you took the model I use in Unstuckable, which has to do with awareness, and then awareness and action in the relationship. And that's what you did. And Mark, I'm sure you'll welcome Gretchen to a new session.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Gretchen. Wow.
Thank
And
you, Gretchen.
yeah, thank you so much.
That was fun. I love that. Wow. Jessica.
Yes, sorry. I was just like, I was in awe of that too.
Oh, I was too. I was like, I mean, that was a master class, right?
Yeah, that was really good. Okay.
I got to go back and listen to what she said.
Did we ever get Malika from Singapore back?
Not yet, but I will see what we can do. In the meantime, we have Amanda from Connecticut. Amanda.
All right.
Hey, Amanda. Hello.
Hi, guys. Hi. Can you
Hi.
hear me tonight?
Yes. How are you?
Good. I know you guys are gonna throw me off the show sooner or later, but another crazy thing happened this week that I had to call in.
Oh my God.
The first time I called into you guys, Psychic Mark had messages from my grandfather where he took out his false teeth and said, "Get yourself a new pair of shoes." The whole shoe story. Well, I'm starting the job training. I go into the first night being able to walk into the new location, my new job last night, and one of the training stations, information where they talk, they say, "Oh, we give you a stipend, this certain amount, and you could get shoes." And I'm sitting there going, "Oh no, here we go." And I called last night thinking it was Thursday night. You'll have time to get out. So we go on up to the front of the local store and everything for a break, and they have the shoe vendor there, and there's the whole register is filled with shoes. And I'm like, okay. And I look at another person, brand new. I was like, I just heard about getting new shoes. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get a new pair of shoes. And this is my grandfather saying, "See, I put you in the spot to get new shoes." So I ordered myself on the company new shoes thanks to the brand new Whole Foods.
Wow.
Like,
Oh my goodness. Well, it's like, first off, thank you so much for providing these wonderful validations. See, I receive the messages. I don't always know the full extent of what they mean. And obviously these shoes are just like all over the place. Now, speaking of your grandfather, he keeps projecting to me the image of a fireman. I keep seeing a fireman. So is there a fireman or, okay, who's the fireman paramedic that's connected to you in some way?
Okay. My grandfather was a longtime firefighter for our town, and I'm not sure how long you were in Connecticut or lived, Dr. Carr, how long ago. Before my time, there was a fire prevention program known as the Theater on Wheels. He was Smokey the Bear that went to all the schools around the state of Connecticut to the Big E, down to D.C., and I tried to carry that with my daughter, and out of all the firemen that have passed, when he passed within months, they planted a tree out of all the firemen. He's the only one that's passed. So they have a tree at one of his firehouses in town. And my daughter, I've carried on the love. She got to go on a field trip in daycare a few months ago, right around his birthday, and they allowed me to go on the trip so I could share that moment of what I used to do with my grandfather. And it was like the new version of a fire truck, was his engine number. And, I bought the Smokey the Bear stuffy animal I had that's hers. And I carried on with the firefighter stuff. And every time she's got fire trucks, I got her a firefighter outfit, and she puts it on, and it's like the image of my grandfather, which I do see my grandfather come through her.
So there's the fireman. Now he's, hold on, take a breath, stop and take a deep breath, relax. He's giving me two different numbers. The first number is 189, 189, and the second one is 19. Can I please finish? And the second one is 191. Now you can respond.
Okay, you said 118 was the first one?
No, 189, and the second one was 191.
Okay, so the 189, he must be doing it backwards. My daughter's birthday is 8/19. And
okay.
The 9/11, every time it comes around, that's when that whole thing shook the country. That week, my father was supposed to be down there in computer training for CompUSA, and we always went away around Labor Day, first week of September, and thankfully it was canceled because until the day my grandfather died, he always told people that my son was supposed to be down the meeting. My father, and every year 9/11 comes around, I always say, Mom, that could have been us down at that memorial.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. First off, I want to thank you for understanding the numbers. See, when numbers come in, yeah, they're not always in the right sequence. Because what was the first one? 189. But you said your daughter's birthday was what? 8/19. So we got the numbers there.
Right.
And the second 191. That's 9/11, which is 9/11. Because people are always like, oh, come on, you're stretching to make it fit. Oh, I think not. Because when the numbers come in, they're not always in the exact order. I mean, it's great when they are, but you see, you just brought up a really, really wonderful thing, because your interpretation of something is more important than mine. I am the conduit. I'm the radio. The spirit transmits that to me. I convey it to you. Now, I may understand what it means. I may have an interpretation, but if you have a different one based on what I've transmitted, we always go with your interpretation over mine. And you immediately saw 189 as 918 and that 191 as 911, both of which apply to your daughter and then to your grandfather. So congratulations. I wish you could give all of my clients lessons on how to be. I was doing a reading the other night, and this woman's father came through, and I said, he's giving me Sandy. No. It's really strong. No, my nickname as a child was Sammy, but that's not it. And I had just gone through a lengthy explanation. If I get Willie, but it's Billy, Mitchell if it's Michael, Keaton if it's Colton. And then she looked at me and says, yeah, how would you know my nickname was Sammy? I said, I don't, but your father does. Yeah. And it takes some people time to get into the groove, and you nailed it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to thank you for also calling in, and I want to comment too. We're not going to kick you off. So you don't worry about that. What you just did is what Gretchen did. You gave us a master class of really providing feedback. Here's what I want to leave you with. You maybe think you're calling in and you may be thinking this is going to be a message from me, but Mark will tell you that when we get callers, like all the callers tonight, other people, thousands of people are listening from all over the world, and they have now learned something from you and Mark. Because for Mark to be able to figure out a fireman or fire person and have it be that exact, this is what we love to do. This is Mark's ministry. And for you, and the excitement, I can't tell you how inspiring you are. You're amazing. And we've followed your journey from no job, and now you got some shoes. Who does? Who does?
What's next? What's Dr. going to tell me next? What's Grandpa's next?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. The theme tonight was dream big. It was do you have a dream? Now you've got to dream big. Okay?
Okay.
Keep the momentum going this year. You're off to a great start. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and dream big. This job, your grandfather wants you to know this job is, the reason he brought up shoes is this job is a stepping stone to the next level. So do really well at this job, and it's going to lead to even greater opportunities. All right. So Grandpa loves you. So mwah from Grandpa.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to get me a pair of shoes. Mark, what a great show.
This was an interesting show.
I'm sorry I cut you off there with, I think it was Karen, but
that's right.
just needed to get to what do you want? The what do you want question, because that's part of our dreaming. You see, when Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, he meant it.
Yes.
That's what this show is about. That's the navigation you help people with. Being able to dream is so natural to us. Mark, how do we find out more about you? How do we follow you? What are you up to? Are we doing circles? Let it rip.
Got a lot of things coming up. In fact, next week on the 28th, on Wednesday the 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern, same time as this show, I will be conducting an online event with the Omega Institute entitled the NDE Zone, Connected by the Light from the Cosmic to the Subatomic. For tickets, visit my website, afterlifefrequency.com. Go to the calendar of events. Sign up for my newsletter, and that will be for the Omega Institute, the NDE Zone. I believe it's you'll find it very interesting. It'll give you a lot of insights into spirit communication, the science of the afterlife, near-death experiences, reincarnation, and there'll be a few surprises. And that's next week on Wednesday, January 28th. And then on Thursday, January 29th, same bat time, same bat place, will be Dr. Pat and I will be back. So we'll be back next week.
We'll be back. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Basili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.